Hello there. I'm here in my tree. Let's take a look around. There's above and the sun shining through. Lovely. And there's below. I don't really know what you can see because I can't see the camera, but I'm trying to give you a good view. Anyway, this video is going to be about negative entities. So, ghosts, mean ghosts, because there are not so mean ghosts, definitely in existence as well. Demons, gargoyles, gargoyles aren't always bad, but, dragons, who also definitely are not always bad. I have communicated with some really nice dragons. Those type of scary monsters in the closet and under the bed and, that kind of thing, which exist. They exist. If they've been bothering you, you're not crazy, they exist. However, they're also not what you think they are. They've been more participatory in this past paradigm than they're about to be in this new one. Yesterday, I did a lot of journeying to gather information for Starseed Wilding, which actually after I finish recording this video, I'm going to go work on. Probably I will be uploading it as I'm writing, so yeah, those of you who see it after it's uploaded, I'll probably be writing it as you're watching, so that's funny. Time's weird. Anyway, so I went and I traveled and I had this beautiful, amazing vision where there was a guide with me. I'm not sure who it was, actually. Usually I recognize my guides, but I'm thinking this might have been one of my guides in a different guise. Guide in a guise. Wow, what is going on today? And what happened was we were in this place of, I don't have a succinct way to say it, but it was where the material world is built and where matter is formed. And it looked like there were a bunch of spheres, moving spheres, three-dimensional, but ephemeral kind of globes of light, and they were all interacting with each other, and everything was spinning and moving, and I'm kind of standing in the middle of it looking around, and my guide was there with me trying to figure out what the heck was going on. Well, I was. He knew what was going on because he was a guide. They kind of have to. Anyway, and then I realized that were I to take a picture of the image and flatten it out, it would look exactly like the flower of life, which is, of course, the building block of creation. And also, if you look at a flower of life image, this is a download I got not too long ago, definitely sometime this year, but a flower of life image is equivalent to like a stick person, but of an angel, of an earth angel, the ones who are here who are so good at manipulating occurrences in physical matter and stuff. So anyway, and also if you look at things like the triquetra and of course the tree of life, these are all things that are taken from the flower of life. So, and there are lots of more things. So the flower of life is, it's the way that this game that we're in is built. It, along with things like the golden ratio, is that what it's called? And the Fibonacci spiral. I don't know the words for them. I don't memorize those type things. I just remember meanings. Anyway, moving on before I make myself look like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I swear it's in there. Anyway, so what I saw was that the negative entities, right, they're not that different than people. So if you have one around you, you can liken it to people that you know who feed on things like bad news or putting other people down or laughing at people or joking people or manipulating people or controlling other people. There's one in every office, there's one in every family, there's one in every, and by family I don't necessarily mean nuclear family, but family networks certainly. There are probably more than one. There's one in any group really. And these are beings that feel as if they need to maintain homeostasis by feeding on the energy of someone else. And I've talked about this before when I've discussed topics like psychic attack and things like that. But what I'm talking about right now is a parasitic entity that's become that way because somewhere along the line of its soul evolution, it had a deep and really kind of irrecoverable, unhealable wound that separated it from its own divine source of energy. Which makes you think about him a little bit different than, oh, it's a demon and it's trying to get me. It's not really. Well, it is. But also it's this thing that is kind of limping along, cannot survive without becoming a parasite. But that also is important because you realize that because it's a parasite, it's a lot weaker than you are. If it were powerful than you, more powerful than you, it wouldn't have to feed on you. So that means that reasonably they're easy to get rid of. I mean, you've got different people who go around doing this. Like, for instance, if you're Catholic, you can call a priest and get him to come and do it. Sometimes, a lot of times, churches don't want to admit that these things are real because they don't want to have to deal with them. I'm not saying that as a blanket statement. I know that that's not always true, but it's true. It's been true often enough in my experience to kind of have a bit of a soapbox about it. Anyway, the truth about these matters is that usually you can get rid of it yourself. You just have to put your foot down and get mad and tell it to leave. And in the grander scheme of things, negative entity's job is they really love this paradigm that we've been in. They love this old game. So if they can get you to be fearful, if they can get you to be reactive and work from a place of war, fighting, then they keep you in the loops of the old paradigm. But if you can see them for what they actually are, and what they actually are is an opportunity for you to gather more of your own strength and more of your own purpose as a divine being, then it's really not difficult at all to shed yourself of them. Something else to really be cognizant of when dealing with this issue is that if you are dealing with any type of negative entity, or if anyone you know is, and they're bringing you information about it and asking you for help, then that means that somewhere in your energetic envelope, so the covering of your aura, there is a tear or a rip or a bruise, right, or something that's allowing this type of energy sucking situation to come in. And that is nothing to feel bad about. It's just to say, oh, kind of like having a compromised immune system. All right, well, what do I need to do? Do I need to meditate more? Do I need to dance more? Do I need to eat healthier? Do I need to take better care of my physical body? Is there a relationship in my life that's not in alignment with my true divine nature? Is there something else that I need to change? Do I just need to change my self-talk? Which I think is probably true for 99% of anyone dealing with negative entities. Now, when we're talking about children or adolescents or young adults, those of you who are in college, just out of college, really figuring this stuff out and being plagued by, stuff after you, then it's also really common that people who have not yet learned how to maintain their own energetic field really shine as these great big bright lights, especially people who are going to be light workers and who really already are light workers. But we're not taught how to keep ourselves healthy, and also people who are light workers are as well often empaths, and they end up taking on a lot of injury that's not necessarily theirs, which cause rips in your aura. And so what happens is you've got someone shining all this light, not knowing how to be healthy with it because they just haven't learned what to do, say, when their energy gets off, how to just put it back in. So it ends up creating these ports where stuff can plug in and drink them like a straw in an orange, So it's just really important to, first of all, notice what your own energy field is doing. So if you start to feel fearful or sketchy, first of all, notice that you're feeling fearful or sketchy, and that is right there feeding something. Oh, there's a little flying friend. That's interesting. I don't know what the timing of that meant, but it felt significant. Anyway, and then once you realize that, say, well, what do I need to do to fix this? And also, if you're dealing with something in the moment, and I mean, I'm not trying to discount what you guys are experiencing, because I've experienced negative entities. I've cleared a good amount of people of negative entities. It's a big deal. However, it's not like it is in the movies. You have more power over your own energy field than anything else does, should you choose to use it. Now, if you want to go around acting like a victim, then yeah, someone's going to come in and drink. Why not? You're a free source of water, of energy, of life force. So you can also call in guardians to help you. Archangel Michael is really good for this. Archangel Metatron is really good for this. Your own personal guides and guardians. And really the best way to do it, rather than me giving like a blanket affirmation or a blanket, process, maybe there's a couple that I use, but I don't necessarily think that every single person who ever watched this video would need to use them. What I do think is that if you call in your guides, just mentally get yourself into a space of quietness, call in your guides and guardians and ask them to please show you what to do, and then just kind of look around, possibly do a little bit of searching, or see if anyone you know's name comes to mind. Then just follow that yellow brick road until you find the way out of this situation that you've manifested for yourself, in order to show yourself that you have more strength than you thought. That's the only reason we ever have challenges, is to show ourselves that we have more strength than we thought. And we're in October, the veil is thin, Samhain just passed, also known as Halloween. And I'm fully convinced that people have also had really beautiful encounters, because when the veil is thin, it's not just the veil to where sketchy stuff resides, it's the veil, which is where really beautiful things reside as well on the other side of, or sides of, because there are many different dimensions. So I'm sure that people have also been having really amazing angelic, ET, guide, spirit guide, animal guide encounters, but those aren't the ones they've emailed me about and said, help me, what do I do? So that's why I'm not really speaking to those. If you have had those, fantastic, that's wonderful, and actually I'd love to hear about them if you want to post them in a comment under the video. Anyway, I'm a little over time here, so I will go. I hope that was helpful. This whole issue is definitely a rabbit hole, but I just want to tell you that 1, no, you're probably not imagining it. If you think there's something sketchy around, there probably is. 2, there's stuff you can do. You can protect yourself. It's like a virus or a bacteria. It just has consciousness, but so do viruses and bacteria. So just treat it like that. Don't let yourself get too sketched out. Just deal with it and find out what you got to find out, and then you'll have something under your belt that you've done that you can be proud of and that can show you your true strength. Anyway, have a lovely weekend. I'm off to work on Starseed Wilding. I'll put the link down below for you guys to pre-order it if you are so inclined. Anyway, I will talk to you again very soon. Go in peace, and goodbye.